Are you ready for the petty? Get in, losers.
This is Petty and Unbothered, where we love growth, but we also love a minor grudge.
Where we're celebrating your petty parts and breaking down petty pop culture.
I'm Robin, a multi-hyphenate creative.
And I'm Lora, aka Tita Lors, a licensed marriage and family therapist. Come sit with us. Yay, we're recording.
Yay! So glad we're recording. Here we are.
Here, we made it. All right. So I was going to start today with a joke because I'm needing it.
Yeah? Okay.
Are you ready? I saw this on Threads.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been living for Threads recently. They're hilarious. The drama on Threads is so funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we need to make a Petty and Unbothered threads, by the by. So.
Oh.
I'll make one.
Do it through do it through Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. And also YouTube.
Oh yeah. I could do that.
Yeah, but we haven't been really doing video, so whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
Joke.
What is a 4-letter word with a laugh in the middle? I read this and it took me a while to get it, but I had to say it a few different ways in my head.
Rehab or something? No, that's not a 4-letter word. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to say it 2 different ways and see if it helps you. So I'll say it the same way that I said it earlier. What is a 4-letter word with a laugh in the middle? And I'm going to say it a different way. What is a 4-letter word with a laugh in the middle?
Oh, what? What?
Yeah, get it?
Yes, what? I get it. Yes.
Has a laugh in the middle.
Yeah. Good one. Good one. Because it's like literally telling you.
Yes.
That was a good one. It did make me think for a second.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty good.
Me too. That
was on Threads.
What? And I said it so many times in my head too. Yeah, it was on Threads.
Nice.
I said it so many times. I was like, what is a 4-letter word? What is a 4-letter word?
Yeah.
Okay. So content warning for this one about grief and animal loss before we go any further. Because I lost my dog this week and that was really rough.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm kind of struggling with like a ton of guilt about the last 4 to 5 years of her life because it's vastly different than what the first decade of her life was. So I'm like going through it and rolling back the tapes in my head. And, there's the story of like in my head of like, oh, she was neglected. I neglected her. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, blah, 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 blah. So it's going to be, I'm not going to be as high energy today.
Good, because I'm a bit low energy as well. So,
okay,
but I'll make the difference.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like I did pick a fun story. I don't think it's very petty, but it's fun.
All right, that's
and
good.
I got a lot of other ideas to like dive deeper into in the future, especially for like Halloween and stuff. But yes, okay. You know that I traumatized my kids yesterday by watching All Dogs Go to Heaven.
I saw that and I was like, you're the coolest mom though, because like these kids got to know this stuff,
Yeah.
Like we were a bit traumatized by all that Don Bluth 90s core trauma cartoons.
Oh my gosh. Yes, where every parent is at least one parent is dead or dies.
Right? Oh man. Well, my brother, a side note, texted me. He got the VHS of Fern Gully and showed it to us
Oh,
4-year-old.
no.
I was like, dude, really? I was like, well, at least she'll learn about like, you know,
Environmentalism.
yeah, that's what yeah. I was like, at least maybe that'll sink in somehow.
Yeah.
Yikes. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, seriously. What other movies have I, like, traumatized her with recently? I feel like there's been a lot. Every time I get her to watch anything from our childhood, she's like, "Mom, it's scary."
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So for me, one of my favorite Disney movies, or not Disney, because it's not a Disney movie. Is it? I don't think so. Or it never was counted as a Disney movie. Because I don't think it. Anyways, random tangent. One of my favorite princess movies growing up was Swan Princess,
Mm-hmm.
because she was like one of the few princesses who was like, "You just love me because I'm pretty, but like, what
Ooh.
else?"
Yeah.
Yeah, like the prince, he's like proposing to her, and she's like, "Why do you want to get married to me?" And he's like telling her how beautiful she is, and blah blah blah, and she's like, "Okay, but what else?" And the prince goes, "What else is there?" And the music cuts
Whoa.
out, and everyone's like, "Ooh, wrong answer."
That's insane.
I
Like,
know, right?
huh.
Yeah.
No, I never even like I mean, I saw that of course in like 90, I think 94 or something like that. But I mean, obviously those
I don't
things
yeah.
just kind of went like this as a kid.
Mhm.
um, dang, how shallow though.
Well, I mean, for me, it really stood out because, right?
Yeah.
But that was like every prince all the time. "Oh, you're beautiful, and that's why I wanna marry you." And it really stood
Yeah.
out to me because I always felt like the ugly duckling when
Oh.
I was younger. Because like, I have all of my cousins and, like, all of my family members, they're very cute. They were very cute kids.
Mhm.
Um, and of course, they've all, like, grown up, and they're all incredibly attractive human beings, both, like, inside and out, but I had, like, really bad eczema,
Oh.
and it was on my face and just, like, always felt so unattractive, and I was like, "Oh, well, I guess it's possible to be hideous, to be, like, not as attractive and still have something
Goodness.
going for me." So that was, like, one of my favorite movies because it made me feel like, "Okay, I don't have to be a princess, or I don't have to be the most beautiful person because there's more to it than just that." But
Mhm.
I didn't realize how scary that movie was until I watched it with my kids.
Oh, geez. I don't yeah, I really don't I mean, I remember it more because my dad read me the book. Um, it's a because
Oh.
it does have, like, a little bit more of, like, not morals, just kinda like a deeper tone to it
Yeah.
because it's, do you know who Hans Christian Andersen is?
Hell yes. Does people need to know, like, all of the Disney movies, they're horrendous. They're like, people are maimed and mauled, and
Yeah.
like, they're somewhere in every single one of those stories, people are bleeding.
Yeah.
Like, your favorite Disney princesses die. It's not good. They're very horrific and scary, and they're meant to terrify children.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like, they're not for the faint of heart, and they've all been kind of, like, Disneyfied somehow.
Mhm.
Um,
I've
but,
read all of the books in the Hans Christian Andersen version. I've read them, and I was like, "Oh."
like, cause he wrote Little Mermaid too, and that's, like, not that
Yes.
happy also.
No, she turns into sea foam, which have do you like Studio Ghibli?
What is it?
Studio Ghibli?
I don't know what that is.
The it's like my neighbor Totoro, or
Oh, oh,
Spirited Away,
yeah, okay.
or
Yes, 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 yes.
Ponyo. Okay, so
All those
Ponyo,
Miyazaki yeah, yes, I know.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, I watched Ponyo recently, and I just realized that Ponyo is basically their edition of like My Little Mermaid.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because they're, oh, we have to test the boy, and if he fails, she turns into sea foam. I was
Oh,
like,
interesting.
oh,
That's like actually one I haven't seen. So, going into that,
it's
I'll
so
have
good.
to think about it. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, I decided to my doggo was born in 2012,
Mm.
so I looked up movies about animals from that year, and it was really great because my dog was a Chihuahua, and, Beverly Hills Chihuahua 3 had just come out that year,
Oh my gosh.
and she looks like the Taco Bell dog. She looked more like it when she was, like, younger. When she got older, she was kinda, like, graying and turning white, but yeah, so everybody would always, like, make fun of her because of
Oh,
that, um, but she's so cute, and, you met her.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I've met her.
So, there's that, and then also yeah, also Frankenweenie came out that year, the stop
Oh,
motion, um,
Tim Burton.
yeah, so I was like and I love Tim Burton, oh my
Yeah.
god, live for him, um, and all of his weirdness, but
Yeah.
I decided I have a question before I get into whichever one I'm doing.
Oh,
What's the pettiest thing you've ever seen an animal or pet do?
oh. Man, that's a funny question. I think, yeah, I've seen some pettiness for sure. First that comes to mind,
Mhm,
I no, I'm not gonna try to. Um, I still have a hard time with the loss of my cats, but especially
mhm.
shout out to Alix, but brother and sister, and they always had this like funny like petty rivalry going on.
Mhm. Oh.
And one I just that popped in my head is at nighttime, they would both wanna curl up with me like, jump on the bed, and
Mhm.
one of them would jump on the bed, and then the other one would jump on, and then they'd start fighting because they didn't wanna both be on the bed. They'd be like, "It's me, I get to sleep on Robin's bed tonight."
Mhm.
And the funny,
It's
petty
my
thing
turn.
yeah, the petty thing about it is how they'd usually settle it is they'd kinda, like, have this little skirmish, and then eventually they'd kinda get quiet, and then they did this thing where even though they were so mad at each other, they would pretend that the other one wasn't on the bed also, and they would, like, turn their heads this way, and they're so,
Mhm.
like, my fingers are their heads going like this, and this is their backs, and their
Mhm.
backs would actually touch, but they'd pretend that the other cat wasn't there. And then just
Oh
eventually,
my
like, get over it and fall asleep. But it was, like, so petty how they were
god.
just kinda like, "Oh, I am on the bed and you're not there, kinda thing." And sometimes they'd even turn like this, like a yin and yang kind of
Yeah.
formation, and it was just so freaking cute. But you could tell they both were, like, trying to prove a point to each other, like, "I don't see you, you're not here."
Yeah.
And it would just crack me up because I was just like, "Wow, that is super petty," but
Mhm.
they actually love each other, like, somehow. Because why would they wanna be, like, kind of touching each other?
So close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just oh, man, that was one that I still have an image in my head.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll
that's
just
so
show you
funny.
a
What a
picture of it.
sibling thing to do.
Yeah,
I love it, yes.
I have lots of pictures of them in that formation, so
Yay. When we post stuff on Instagram, we'll have to have, like, a pet tax and have pictures of our
Oh,
babies.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, do you
Yeah.
have one of those little stories or big
Mhm.
stories?
Oh, yeah. Betsy was super petty,
Oh,
like, subtle petty too. I so, with Betsy, it's funny because I actually was not trying to have a dog. because I was well into my, like, hoe phase, my hoe era. So I wasn't really home that much, and I was just trying to, like, live my life. My family has, um, these 2 dogs, Kiko and Kikai, shout out to Betsy's parents. And I would joke that, like, every time it rains, they would have a new litter because that's just what it felt like. And so Betsy was part of one of the litters, and she was, like, the runt, and Kikai didn't really, like, pay attention to her and wasn't, like, feeding her and all that, so my uncle would, like, take her in, and my mom got really attached to her, and she's, like so I was living at my aunt's house at the time, and my mom was there all the time because that was her little sister, and, um, my my mom was, like, holding her, and she's like, "Look how cute she is." And I was like, "Yes, very, very cute dog, so adorable." And she's like, "They're gonna sell her." And I was like, "They do that every time." They go because they can't afford to have this many dogs.
Right.
Um, so yes, uh-huh. And she's like, "Oh, but it would be so nice if we could keep her." And I'm not for some reason registering the "we" in her sentences here. And I was like, "Well, you're a grown ass woman. If you want a dog, you should own a dog, right? Like, if you need the companionship." And I convinced my mom, I talked her into getting the dog and keeping the dog. And she's like, "Really? You think that's a good idea?" She was so stoked. She's like, "Really?" And I was like,
Wow.
"Yeah, mom. Get a dog. This is your dog. What are you gonna name her?" "I'm gonna name her Betsy Poop." And I'm like, "Cool name, mom. Yes, that's your dog." And as I'm, like, having this conversation with her, I start to realize that my dad didn't want a dog in the house. And I'm like, "Oh, hold on a second." And I asked her, "Where's this dog gonna stay?" And she's like, "With you."
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I ended up with Betsy as my dog, which it wasn't part of my plan. It was the best thing that ever happened to me having Betsy, honestly. Um, but the petty thing is that I ended up I had already made plans to be gone for like a month and a half. I was gonna be like in Hawaii with my other aunt out there because I was just doing online classes for my master's at the time. So it's like I'm gonna go do them with her in Hawaii. Why not? And help her with her wedding that was coming up. Um, and so I was like, "You need to watch your dog because it is your dog, right?"
Yeah.
And my mom was like calling me once, and she was freaking out. She's like, "Oh my god, she went pee and she pooped on your bed. It's everywhere. Oh my god."
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that in her, like, pettiness and her upsetness at me leaving her, um, she, like, pooped on my pillows, on my bed, and she,
Ugh.
like, peed all over my bed, which took her some effort to get up to, honestly, because I had, like, a high captain's bed, and she was, like, she's a small, tiny dog. So I was like, "Wow, you're really mad, huh?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I know, 'cause Betsy and I were, like I would take her to class with me. She would be inside my sweater pocket
Oh.
because she was so teeny tiny. So she'd just be in my sweater pocket, and I would, like this one time, I was in the middle of a lecture, and I was like, "Oh, my dog has to go pee," and she ended up peeing, like, in my hand. I was like, "Oh, no." And I had to, like, leave like, run out of the room with my dog because but that's how quiet she was and how sweet she was. Like, I could
Mm,
take her to school, and nobody would even know that she was with me. Um, so she was just used to always being with me, and then I left for a month and a half, and she was really upset. And
mm,
I told my mom, like, "You need to spend a lot more time with her because she's not used to being alone."
right.
Yeah. So from then on, anytime Betsy was mad at me, she would just, like, poop is in the middle of my studio or in the middle of like whatever. And I was just like, what did I do wrong this time?
Man, that's wow.
Um, yeah.
I think when I met Betsy, I think that was one
Yeah.
of my first comments is how quiet she was. Because I was like,
Hmm.
sometimes dogs are just too loud for me. So when I went to your house, I was like, oh, these dogs are not so loud. Thank goodness.
Yeah. They don't bark a lot. It's mostly just if there's, I mean, Valkyrie rarely barks at the door. Usually it's only if she sees like a big dog.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, they're pretty quiet. They were good dogs. Or Valkyrie's a good dog. Betsy was the best dog. I used to
Yeah.
take her hiking with me.
Wow. That's amazing.
Mhm.
She's like such
Yeah.
a little dog, but wow.
Yeah. She'd go on like, I think the longest hike I ever took her on was like 13 miles. And it was like
Dang.
up in the Santa Monica mountains or whatever.
Mhm.
It was a pretty rigorous hike that we went on. But I had like a backpack too, like a carrier for if she got tired. So I would put her in that.
That's very cool. Oh,
Yeah.
sounds like you had some
She's the
really good
best.
times, and so thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah, thanks. I did. She was great. Um, so I also found some pretty funny stories on Reddit about this, and they're super short. So I'm going to read those too.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, it's funny because I typed in like, "What's the pettiest thing an animal's ever done or used?" And there were answers already. Somebody had already asked this question. So, Over the Moon 82, 5 years ago, posted, "When do you think they were born, Robin?"
Jeez, I have no idea, and they might be like 43, just a half of my dome, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So we got another dog because I left for college and my dog would be lonely. So now I can't really take her with me because of the other dog. When my mom would feed them, my mom would feed them first, but sometimes I would eat first. And our second dog would then poop in front of the pantry door and look at me like it was my fault.
Oh my gosh.
That would make me think of Betsy.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Keep It Quick said, I watched a chihuahua hoard 3+ different bones. After having distributed bones, after having distributed bones to each dog present, and she would wait, lurking in the shadows until one of them set their bone down. She would run up and steal them, carry them back to her hut, and would continue hoarding. And by steal, literally out from underneath them, pit bulls, other chihuahuas, and she wouldn't even chew them. She'd just take them.
Man,
Like, I
that's
couldn't see Betsy doing
savage.
that, but that's so funny. Yeah, seriously, right? A pit bull stealing from a chihuahua
Yeah,
stealing from a pit bull.
that's pretty confident.
No, seriously. One of the comments on that one was like, wow, that chihuahua's got some balls.
Yeah, right? Oh,
Uh-huh.
man.
Okay. So I didn't want to do um Beverly Hills Chihuahua because I didn't want to watch the movie because I
3.
think it would have made me cry. Yeah.
Um, I don't think I've seen
And
any of
I'd
those, but
recently seen.
yeah.
Really?
I
I saw the first one, only the first one.
I remember when it dropped, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So I've recently watched Frankenweenie. So I thought I'd do a little deep dive on that one.
Alright.
But not the stop motion. I was gonna do both, but then this happened last night and I got tired.
Huh.
Um, So, yeah, okay, so there's 2. There's the original one from 1984. It was a 27, 30-ish minute live action, movie,
Mhm.
and there's the it's a have you do you know what it's about?
Not I don't really recall. I mean, I know I've seen it, but I can't doesn't yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it's a Tim Burton short, um, and it's basically it's basically like the Frankenstein, story, but twisted a little bit,
Mhm.
to be and it's a lot more, I feel like, kid-friendly and fun. I like the story better. So Victor Frankenstein is the kid's name, and he's a filmmaker, and his dog is, like, in the movies that he makes, and it's super cute. His dog is a bull terrier. His name is Sparky. And in both movies, the live action and the stop motion, something happens and the dog gets hit by a car.
Mm, sad.
Yeah. So they bury him and the kid goes to school and from the science teacher learns about reanimation of like muscles
Okay.
through like the electrical pulses and stuff. Um and so then he decides to, you know, what is it? Not excavate. What's the word when you
Um
unbury your dog? Wow. I know the word. Exhume.
Exhume, yeah, yeah, that's it. I knew it was like a EX kind of vibes, but
Yeah. Yes. So he decides to exhume his dog and bring him back to life. And the visual reminded me of like science classes in school. Did you ever do the science classes where you had to like cut open a frog or the ones with the cats?
um n in high school, in science, we cut open a sheep's eye. That's all we did.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we didn't do
No
cats or
way.
frogs, but we had like, this metal tray
Uh-huh.
with, like, a sheep eye,
Uh-huh.
and that was it.
Wow. So when I moved into like where I grew up, and I joke about it because I was like hood adjacent and like LA County School District, not the best.
Mm.
Don't recommend. But then we moved to like a more affluent area and I took summer classes because I thought I was dumb in comparison to all the people. Listen, my childhood is filled with a lot of really negative thoughts about myself.
Mm,
Um, we've since worked on most of them. Some we still struggle with, but it's fine.
mm,
So it in this like place, I took summer school because I wanted to be like on par or like caught up to what the kids were learning in that school district. Um, and I took a summer science class and we like opened up a frog. And
mm.
I'm all, what in the shit? I don't, do they do this in LA school districts? I don't know. That was my first experience of that. And then I took like AP bio
Mm.
and we ended up, dissecting a cat
Mm.
and like part of our test was having to know where all of the organs and everything was for the cat. And I was like, cool beans, guys. I still don't know what any of these organs are, but I did pass that AP test, so it's fine.
Nice. Good job, good job.
Yeah. And I heard recently from someone that I don't think they're allowed to do that anymore.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, or I don't know if it's like specific school districts or specific places, but I've I've heard they're like, "Oh, we don't do that anymore." Like, well, that
Huh.
sucks because that was a really it it was a good experience, I
Yeah.
will say, because I did learn and getting that hands-on experience and being able to be like, "I don't wanna do this." I like
Huh.
part there's a part of me who wanted to do the traditional, like, Filipino become a doctor route,
Mm.
but that cemented that I didn't want to. I
Oh,
don't
really?
wanna be looking yeah, it's like, I don't need to know. where all the organs are. It's fine.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yes. It also it let me know who, like, the little pansies I was trying not to cuss, but, like, where who the pansies in my class were, because I was like,
Yeah.
"It's already dead."
Yeah.
And it was a stray cat, like,
Oh.
very yeah, like because these cats were donated probably from, like, shelters of, cats who didn't make it or and all of that stuff, and so it got donated to science,
Mm.
um, and stuff like that. So I was like, "You're not killing the cat. It's already this is for our education, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Man up, dude. Make the cut."
That's funny. I have a similar story actually.
Oh, yeah?
Like
Do
when
tell.
I was in high school, I was like more trying to be like a activist because I was more vegan than vegetarian at times.
Yeah,
But so I was like, I should do like a protest about this I don't want to do it.
yeah.
Um, and our lab partners were randomly chosen, and this one guy who I never really talked to that much, he was one of the people that wore Marilyn Manson shirts and like a black trench coat and would go across the
Mhm.
street to smoke on
Yeah.
between classes and tried to look kind of scary. And
Mhm.
I thought he was like,
Yep.
once he was my partner, I was like, oh, he's actually really like nice and kind of soft
Nice.
spoken. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
But this is the funny part is I thought, well, out of all the people, but then he turned out to be like a pansy, I guess, because he was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to cut this. It's like gross, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was
I
like,
mean, it would be
wow.
a different yeah, it'd be so different if it was like, "Oh, no, I'm against this, this is, like, against my
Yeah, like me,
beliefs," or
kind
if it was,
of.
like, active yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly, right? But no, it's because 'cause you're grossed out. That's why you don't wanna do this. I'm like, "It's
Yeah, I wasn't
make the
grossed
cut."
out, but yeah, I think I kind of had
Yeah.
to do a lot of it, which is ironic but funny.
I know, there's
Anyway, I just wanted to share because it really, yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny how it does show like how people actually are.
Mhm. Yeah, like, you really find out who people are because you 'cause you're over here talking about how big and bad you are
Yeah.
and all of this stuff. You can't make a simple cut.
Hmm.
There's no blood, there's nothing. You're
Yeah,
going to be fine.
right. Totally. It's such a funny memory unlock.
Yeah. Okay. So Victor has just learned that he can reanimate his dog. And so in the live action, it's just the teacher shows them what's possible, and in the stop motion, um, I feel like they're trying to make a statement. I might go deeper dive into that one, but it's a lot more fun. So in the stop motion, they're encouraged to do an experiment, and they like win something, whatever. But Victor's not doing it for the prize. He's doing it because he's like, I can bring my dog back. So he does it, and Sparky comes back to life. He's trying to keep him a secret. Um, so somehow the neighbors like see the dog, and this was the funniest part of to me about the movie, or like if there's any like pettiness in the live action, it's the part where like the neighbor or Sparky somehow gets out, and then the neighbors see him and they're just like, ah, oh my god, it's like this creature, and he runs into Victor's house, and one of the neighbors like stops the parents as they're exiting their vehicles. And they're like, wait, what did they say? I wrote it down. Blah, blah, blah. Um, okay, so the parents get accosted by a neighbor, and the neighbor's like, I don't mind that you got another dog, but you can't let him run around and scare half the neighborhood. And the mom's like, we didn't get a dog. But just, right, already you're laughing because, like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Hold the phone there.
Yeah.
And then I guess Sparky had scared his daughter, And so the mom was like, "Oh, honey, maybe you just imagined it." Um, which I've got notes on this entire interaction.
Okay.
And then the dad goes, "Well, I didn't imagine what I saw, and Rose didn't either." Um,
Rose.
and yeah. And then the mom says, "I'm sure there's a very logical explanation for all of this."
Oh,
Well, what is it? Kind of. So it made me think about like HOAs, and I know you don't actually have to deal with this. You don't have because you're in
no.
like an apartment.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, some apartments
Uh,
do, but yeah, not mine.
wait, really?
Mhm. Yeah.
No way. Tell me more.
Um, I just know there's, like, standards, like, you have to keep it, um,
Uh huh.
like your fire escape or whatever and your parking
Oh,
spot
that
and
makes
I don't
sense.
it's that kinda stuff, I think. And there's, like, boards too. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, so it is kind of, I mean, a HOA of sorts. And you have to
Yeah.
pay dues too, so that's the other part.
For what? It's an apartment. Like, it's part of
Dude,
living in that apartment.
I
I'm already paying you to do this.
yeah, clearly I don't live in one of those kinds of apartments, but it exists, so yeah.
That would piss me off. We have an HOA and they piss me off.
Mm.
They every spring, so probably now actually people are probably walking around and people are going to start getting notices on their houses to tell them what they need to fix on their house.
Ugh, yuck.
Yeah. I'm like, no. There's been 2 times where I'm like, out of principle, no.
Mm.
It's my it's my backyard. Like, when we first got this we first got this house, there was a garden in the backyard, and then they told us we weren't allowed to have it. And I was like, "Why do you get to tell me what happens in my backyard?
Mhm.
It's not a mess. It's it was great." That was one of the reasons why we decided to have this house was because there was a garden back there. Um, and then they told us that, yeah, the previous owners weren't supposed to have it, so either the previous owners have to take it down or we do. And I was like, "Wow."
That's so like, not cool.
Yeah, like the first taste of having an HOA was a bad connect. It was not good. And then the next year, the fence was leaning. So we had to we had to do that. And if not, they were going to start like, I don't know, whatever the penalties are. I was like, "Cool. Bye." I have like a toddler and an infant and my partner is not here.
Mm.
He's at a training. So unless you're going to do something about it, I don't know what to tell you.
Mhm.
But they just kept dropping off notices at our house, and I was like, "Leave me alone."
Wow. Do you have to pay dues or
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. They're not as high as other places. There are other places where it's like multiple hundreds of dollars. I don't know
Ouch.
if it's quarterly or monthly or whatever, but I think ours isn't that bad, luckily, yet so far.
Fingies crossed.
I know, seriously. Um, okay. So my notes on that whole conversation is, ain't that a sign of the times? Right? Like being able to just walk up to your neighbor and be like, murder, 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 murder.
Yeah.
And then also how dismissive the mom was of the child's experience,
Mm, mhm.
right? I noticed even you like kind of audibly sighed or laughed at the whole, well, honey, maybe you just imagined it
Yeah.
comment.
I mean, yeah, that's, like, the worst.
Yeah, that's like, that's actual gaslighting.
Hondo P.
Yep. Um, yeah, and I think that, like, adults do that too much to kids, where they try to, like, tell kids what their experience is, and they don't actually listen to what the kid is experiencing or what's going on for the kid. So that was really annoying for me. Um, boop, 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 boop. Also, I kept looking at the dad and I was like, God, you look so familiar. Who the hell are you? And I looked him up. He's Marv from Home Alone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, like super, super young. And he aged well, honestly, because from that to like Marv, there's not too much of a difference.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, okay, guy, look at you. You're in like a black and white short film
Daniel
in
Stern, dang.
90. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then you're in Home Alone. Okay. But yeah. Um, anyways, that's probably like the pettiest thing. The if anyone, this movie has been out for a while, so I'm spoiling the ending for everyone. So if
Yeah, I
you
think
don't
the
want to hear the
statute
rest of
of
this,
limitations is
yeah,
way
exactly,
past.
exactly. If you don't want to hear the rest of it, then fast forward
Yeah.
5 or 10 minutes
Yeah,
from
5 or
here.
10
But
minutes. All right.
it's come on, like that's a while now.
Mm.
So, anyways, the the parents are like, oh, they find out that Sparky's still alive, and then they convince Victor that like, oh, people are just, afraid because they don't understand, they don't get it. So let's reintroduce Sparky. And they have like a not like a neighbor meeting in their living room. And they bring Sparky down, and immediately Rose, one of the other neighbors, like screams and she's like, "Oh, he tried to kill my dog!" And like big reaction. They're kind of scaring Sparky, and Sparky reacts obviously and then runs away. Um, and then through like by accident, somehow Victor he ends up in like this windmill on a like mini golf course that like he gets knocked in the head, he gets knocked out, and he almost dies because there's like they set the windmill on fire by accident. And Sparky is the one that saves him. But in saving Victor, he gets hurt and he dies again. And
Ooh.
then like, yeah. And then the neighbors are finally like, oh shit, he actually tried to, oh shoot, he tried to like save the kid. We were wrong. And so then, yeah, they help to reanimate Sparky and Sparky lives. Yay.
Oh, that's
Um,
nice.
yeah. But it like kind of got me thinking about um, big dogs and especially pit bulls. Where do you stand on that situation?
Um, personally, well, in New York, I wouldn't wanna have a big dog in my apartment because I don't think it would be
Yeah.
very nice, for one. Um,
Yeah.
and I've also feel bad for pit bulls in a way just because, like, the way that they're, um, kind of structured, for one, and also they get kind of a bad rap even though they are way aggressive. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, so yeah, I feel bad for pit bulls. I 100% agree with you. Like, I'm really glad that I had a small dog and not a big dog because it was easy to bring her with me wherever I lived in whatever apartments I lived in.
Mhm.
And I didn't have to feel bad that she was cooped up in a small space
Right.
because
Yeah.
she was very small. But I always felt bad for big dogs in small spaces.
Same.
But
Yeah.
like pit bulls, I feel so bad for because they're actually super, super sweet dogs.
Mhm.
I have most pit bulls that I've met with like good owners who learned proper ways to train their dogs
Mhm.
have been the sweetest, kindest dogs I've ever met in my life, and like protective and very loving
Yeah.
and and mostly gentle. There was one maybe who was still really young and didn't know his strength. Um and that was an unfortunate thing, but most pit bulls I've ever met are just so kind and loving.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I do
Um
I don't dislike them. I just yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So, and then that made me think of a story of like one of my friends, ex mother in laws was was telling me about this pit bull and how it had to get taken away or put down or something. And it was just so unfortunate because, people were saying that he was so aggressive
Mm.
because he was super protective of the owner, blah, blah, blah. I was barely paying attention.
Mhm.
Um, because I was watching 4 kids.
Oof.
Yeah, and mostly, honestly, she just had a lot of anxiety that I was starting to, pick up. It was whatever. Anyways, so she tells me the story, and I'm just like, "Oh, that's just so unfortunate." Pit bulls, everything that I just said to you, they get such a bad rap. Usually, it's the owner's fault. If, the pit bull is aggressive, there's
Right.
something about that relationship or something about, how the owner treats the dog. And she's like, yeah, it was my dog." And I was like, "Oh, oh."
Foot and mouth.
Huh? I was like, "I don't know how to fix this." I was like, "Oh, well,
Not you, not you, but
I'm sure you did your best
that's
to."
hilarious.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh, I don't know how to come back from this."
Oh, no. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I just, growing up, kind of going over to friends' houses where they do have these big dogs and they kinda jump up on
Mhm.
you, kinda
Oh,
scared me
yeah.
a little bit as a kid, and so I kind of still carry a little bit of that, energy. I'm
Mhm.
like, "I don't like it." It's loud barking
Yeah.
and jumping on me, but, I did have a sheepdog when I was little growing up, and she was, very, very sweet and just very
Aw.
calm and, chill, but, I think she probably didn't get as much love as she needed from everybody. It's
Aw.
just it is what it was a dog that actually my mom grew up with, so it
Aw,
was
so
kinda
she was an
like
older dog. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but, that's my only dog. Other than that, I've just had, cats, hamsters, fish, that's about it.
The girls wanna get a guinea pig. I'm like, "You can have a guinea pig." Oh, man. I said you can have a guinea pig when you start, walking Betsy regularly.
Oh, oh.
Yeah,
Well,
so we gotta find a different
yeah.
she can't walk Valkyrie. Valkyrie weighs more, twice as much as she does, so that's
Oh,
not happening.
yeah.
Um, yeah, we'll find a different measure for that. Uh, yeah. So, actually, I was really, really afraid of dogs too when I was little. I remember, this chihuahua, like, ran across the street and chased me, and I jumped into the arms of, whatever aunt I was with, and I was like, "Oh my god."
Mm. Yeah, that's kinda freaky.
Yeah. And then the owner, got it, and my aunt was laughing at me, and I was like, "Get that little rat away from me."
Yikes.
Yeah. Well, I ended up owning an adorable little rat, and she was the best. She didn't do that to people at all.
Yeah.
She didn't jump on people. She just wanted to be in your lap all the time.
F.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. I will, at some point, possibly, maybe talk about the stop motion version because there's petty moments in that one, and it's actually really funny to me. Um, like, I'll share one
Okay.
moment in the stop motion where, the teacher actually plays a bigger role in the movie or
Hmm.
in the stop
The stop
motion.
motion.
So, yeah, there's, a town hall meeting because all the parents are upset with the teacher for actually teaching their children about science. Like, Pluto's not even a planet anymore. What in the world? Kind of stuff. What are we teaching these kids? And so they're just dragging the teacher. And Victor's mom is like, okay, hold on, hold on. Let's give him a chance to speak, maybe there's a reason why he's saying all of these things. And the science teacher is like, what does he say? Um, he gets in front of everyone and he's like, the reason why you all feel this way is because you're small minded and ignorant and you're afraid of science. And I'm trying to encourage your kids to learn and to enjoy science. And that's how I get at their brains.
Ooh, weird.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So the parents took it as like, oh, you want to eat their brains kind of situation. But he meant it in like, this is how I access their brains to actually get them to learn this information and blah 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 and all this stuff. So it's a really cool movie. It like um it had like it tips its hat to a whole bunch of different horror films because Tim Burton himself was like, oh, he enjoyed horror films.
Mhm.
And there's like Easter eggs, I guess, of like different
Hmm.
older 80s films in there, and it's really good. I think even 90s films too. So I might save the deep dive into that for Halloweeny.
Yeah, please do. That would be great.
Yeah. Okay. Now I have we can go. We could either just end it right there because we're already at like an hour, I guess. But I also have FMKs and I have like some petty animal stories that were really good.
Mhm.
Um, that'll give you the option this time.
Woo. Maybe we could jump into some FMKs.
Okay. So this is you're gonna have to pick three numbers, 1 through 18, but you can't do 3, 15, or 17.
Ah, okay. Um, 5, 12, and 2, actually. 2, 5, and
Okay, 5, 12, and 2. Let
yeah.
me okay. 5, finding it.
I like the picking the
2, 5,
numbers
12.
idea.
Just makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just reread one of the ones we already did. It's
Oh.
funny. It's like
Dang.
that I removed the tabs from all of the zippers.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
That was a good one. Okay. All right. So the first one is I was a 6-year-old. Wow. I was in a 6-year relationship. We were arguing one time, and my ex admitted that she hadn't loved me for the last 2 years of our relationship. Eek.
Mm.
I knew her email password, and I used her email to sign her up for a bunch of Scientology stuff and conspiracy theory websites. I then went into her games and deleted every single piece of data in all of her games. Oh my God. I'm not
Wow.
a gamer, but yikes.
Yeah, I think that would be bad.
Finally. Yeah, finally, I changed the password so she couldn't recover any of them. Evil? Probably. But I sleep well at night knowing that she could never recover her 10-year-old Minecraft world.
wow.
10 years of stuff? I would be livid.
Mm-mm.
I'd be pissed. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. I am wow. No.
Nah. I already know where I stand on that. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna label that one right now.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Um, my ex-fiance and I had a really bad breakup. His mother called me nasty things on social media, so I called her to leave her a voicemail. I left a list of reasons why I had to leave her narcissistic son and said I saw exactly where he got it from. I kept calling her and leaving her voicemails every time I would think of a new reason. She blocked my number after a few days. Not bad. Okay. All right, last one.
Okay.
I hated my dad's at the time girlfriend. She was petty and mean and homophobic and just all around cruel. At one point, I took her purse and microwaved it so that all the makeup would melt. Not my proudest moment, but it felt pretty damn good. Okay.
That one is like kind of
So
like almost like in a kid's mind, creative person, a
yeah.
microwave.
Yeah, right? Like, aw.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So the first one was number 2. That's the passwords and like the
Hmm.
emails and the game stuff. What would you do for that one?
Well, I am like
FMK.
getting somebody's password, and first of all, that is just like a heck no. Uh,
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't,
they
I
already
don't.
had it. Yeah.
That's somebody's personal stuff that you don't mess with.
Mhm.
I would
Yeah.
so uh kill that one. I just don't like that
Same.
at all. Period.
Yeah. I don't care how petty you're being. Like, that is a lot of work and a lot of hours and a lot of dedication to
Yeah.
build those worlds. And if somebody messed with mine just because they were angry at me, like, it's so uncalled for.
Right. And then it just makes me wonder, like, did they stay together after that? Because I would be extra done. And sometimes it does take courage to admit something like that, even
Mhm.
though 2 years is a long time. Maybe that
Yeah.
person just finally got up the courage to tell the truth, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's ex. Yeah. They're not in a
oh,
relationship
X,
anymore.
okay,
That's their
but
ex.
yeah, so that's my stance on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, somebody's saying this really hard thing to you, which you're right. It's not easy to tell somebody that you've been in a 6-year long relationship with that, like, I don't think that I have loved you these past 2 years.
Right.
And to finally get to a point of like, this probably isn't working.
Yeah, because you
And
get
then you
comfortable
do
and
all of
then
that.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good enough reason to be done with the relationship. Like, if I wasn't done, I am now for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're not, there's no coming back from that. There's nothing you can do.
Right, that was
Actually,
just like the
sorry, I'm
nail
just
in
full.
the coffin.
Coffin. Yeah. Okay, so unlocked memory. Um, I I was in my first adult relationship in college, and it was like 5 years, 4 or 5 years long,
Mm,
and I stayed in it because, it's an adult relationship and you're supposed to like try and put an effort, and relationships take work. But after the first year, I don't think that I wanted to be in that relationship anymore. And then the last like year and a half, maybe 2 years, I was just like trying to convince other people that I shouldn't be in this relationship anymore
mm.
so that they would be okay with me leaving, which is crazy. I know. I told you I was problematic when I was younger. Like, I invited my best friend over. I was like, I really need you to just like to come and like see our relationship more, because everyone said that we were perfect for each other. And I was like, this doesn't feel perfect. But anyways,
Mm,
she finally understood why I wanted to leave. And then like I left college and we were now in like 2 different cities. Um, and I'd broken up with him finally. My best friend made me. She literally drove me to his house and was like, "You have like 20 minutes and then I'm doing it for you." I was like, "Okay." Everyone needs a best friend like her. Um,
yeah.
and he would like text me afterwards, and he would be like, "Oh, I'm doing all these things that you used to hate, that like that you used to get mad at me for. Like, I'm driving drunk and I'm doing this and I'm doing that." And I'm like,
Uh,
just all the things that I hated. And I was like, wow, man, crazy how I don't want you back. Definitely have convinced me that I made the right choice. Like, you're not doing what you think you're doing, my guy. Like, if you think, I mean, I get that I stayed in like a somewhat emotionally abusive relationship with you for that long, but once I'm out of it, you're not going to manipulate me back into being with you because you're putting yourself in danger and being an idiot,
mm-mm,
right? Like,
mm-mm.
oh, I'm not going to finish my program, my schooling, and it's going to be your fault. No, it's not. It's going to be your fault,
No,
dumbass. Like, what?
that's
Yeah, I'm going to
wow.
get into a right? I'm going to get into a really bad accident because I'm doing all of these dangerous things. That's going to be your fault. No, it's not. The fudge monkeys.
Whew. Man, glad you got out of that
Yeah.
one.
I know, right? So, for all of you people out there, I just want you to know that's what emotional abuse sounds and looks like. People saying that it's your fault when it's not your fault. Like, people are making the choice to be stupid and they're making the choice to harm themselves. If somebody says something that they're going to do something to hurt themselves, then you should call emergency services and have somebody do a wellness check, because that's petty as fuck. And if they really are going to hurt themselves, then you're sending them the help that they need. But if they're not, it just makes them look stupid. And that's great.
Well said. Well said.
Yes. Okay. Anyways,
Anyway.
tangent. All right. We've got that was a hard kill. We did not like that
No.
with the changing of the passwords. Okay. Boo boo boo. Calling the ex's mom and leaving voicemails of why she's not with him anymore and why it reminds her of the mom.
I would say I would F's with that.
Really, I would marry that.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly because of the next story.
Mhm.
That's the microwave, the bag
Yeah.
one. Yeah, like, you're so cute. That's so cute. I'll F with you, but I don't think it's gonna be forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sweet. I don't know. I like people have a little bit more bite to them. So
I got you.
yeah, that was fun. Again, I like that. I'm gonna be sad when we run out of stories for that one.
Well, just have to load some more up.
I know, I'll have to find some more.
Yeah. No, that was great.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I want to do quick glimmer and then radical compassion
Hmm.
segment real quick before we go. What's your glimmer for this week?
My glimmer would have to be regarding this podcast.
Mm.
It has to do with creating the podcast and feeling really good about it, because
Mm.
when I'm doing it and through the process of being open and being with you as a co-host, being an open person as well, it has gotten to the point where my core is coming out, where my true authentic
Oh,
self is here, and I'm not just
yeah.
filtering different versions of what I'm going to say, and just
Yeah.
feeling through those kind of uncomfortable moments and stepping into
Mhm.
a more fearless version of me, like the honest,
Oh,
like unfiltered me. And I
oh,
just uh try not to get too sappy about it,
I
but
know. I'm gonna cry. I'm already like
um
on the brink of tears already, just as these past days have been. But I love that so much for you. Like,
yeah. And I
I
just
think you're such a cool person.
oh, thanks for saying that. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I think you're a cool person, so this feeling is
Thanks.
mutual. But I guess just I wanted to finish off by saying, like, the fearless, like, version of me that is
Mm.
present in these episodes. Um, I found out that I can be a little bit petty sometimes, and I'm here for that too. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I
realizing
love
that's okay
it.
too. So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
where my head's at with the glimmer, and it's just been really strong this week, especially.
Oh, yay. I'm so happy. I love hearing that you're like stepping more into this more sure version of yourself, because I
Hmm.
really think that you're one of the most admirable people that I've met, because you're so kind. Um and it's, again, like I've said before, so intentional about how you do things, and that people might tend to take advantage of you because of how kind you are. And I love you stepping into this more like, no, I'm you can't do that to me. And like, yeah, just so much even more powerful and even more like you said, authentic. And I even have been hearing because I've been editing everything, how just more certain you are and more able you are to just say what you're thinking. Like you're not pausing as much to consider like how you want to finish the sentence. You're just kind of saying what you want to say. And it's so
Thanks.
cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really nice. I'm glad that you've kind of picked that up because I'm noticing that myself instead of saying like, "What will people think?" or
Mm,
I can't be that version because
mm,
uh, the fear of kind of judgment or what I think that people want me to be, and I'm not
mm.
subscribing to that. So it feels good to
Ooh,
just
yes.
be present with you here
Mhm.
and with our audience. So
Yes.
that's it.
Oh, I know. Let's not both
Woo!
cry.
What about
I
you?
will.
What about you?
Man, I had a lot, and then my dog died. Then
I
I had
still
other ones.
been sending you vibes ever since. So
Mhm. Yeah. Um, so the ones before my dog died is my Wow Mom bracelet, which I'm not even wearing because I
wow,
took a
mom.
shower. Yeah, so my big has been making bracelets,
Mm,
and she's, like, spelling. She's in kindergarten, and so she's learning how to spell, and she's been reading really well, like,
wow.
it's amazing. We have for the bracelets, the beads, we have letter beads, and so she made us all bracelets with our names on it. She has there's a dad bracelet, or my bad. Anyways, so her bracelet, her sister's bracelet, and then she made me one, and it was supposed to say mom,
Hmm.
but W's and M's look very similar.
They do.
Yeah, so she picked two W's instead of two M's.
Hence, wow.
Exactly.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. So it's my wow. We call it my wow mom bracelet. Because if you look at it in one direction, it's wow. And if you look at it the other, it's mom. Wow, mom.
Yeah. I love that. That's very cool. Oh.
Yeah. So that's super cool. And then the other day, I was actually, I thought I had like a resting bee face on. And because I was like trying to do stuff and it randomly got hot. And this random person stopped me and they're like, no disrespect, but you're really beautiful. And I was like, thank you.
No disrespect. That is
Yeah,
awesome. That's gotta feel good.
yeah, it did feel good. Yeah, I have things to say about the whole disrespect thing, but we'll save that for another time. Um, And then I wanted to like shout out the emergency vet place
Mm,
because they were just amazing. It's Veg ER in like Chantilly, Virginia. They were even from like the first phone call to as soon as we got there, it was the most amazing experience I've ever had. I've never had to be, I think I've been to like emergency vet one other time.
mhm,
Um, but this was like an open space and they called her my baby the whole
mm,
time. Um she's like I told her, okay, I'm like 20 minutes, 20, 30 or so minutes away. She's like, okay, great. She was like at the door waiting for me. She reminded me of like a dog wagging her tail, waiting for me to get through the doors. I told her I had my kids with me. They literally spent most of the time, all the vet techs were like entertaining my girls. They had coloring pages, they put on Bluey, they like did so much. And after the actual vet told me what was going on, like I was in and out of some other room, just kind of processing and figuring out what I wanted to do and calling people and Ryan and like friends and people who knew Betsy. And I was like, I just need some perspective and I need somebody to tell me if I should drop 10K to spend another like
mm.
potentially 2 months maybe with this
Oh,
dog and
boy.
spoil the ever living crap out of her. but, like, it wouldn't have been spoiling her, it would have been extending a really difficult life and, like, forcing her to take medication, and
Mhm.
so, to make a hard choice,
Right.
so yeah, they
Oh.
were amazing. They were literally and I feel bad for them because I'm pretty sure that my kids, made them cry.
Aw.
But yeah, it was a really, really good experience. So that's also another glimmer that in my grief and sorrow and something that I was actually able to experience it and not have to, like, be a mom for a while. So I really that was really great. Um
Oh, man. I'm
I know,
just
sorry.
no, it's okay. That's really nice when you find a, professional that takes, the care, just like that extra step to make
Mhm.
you feel okay and secure
Yeah.
with your,
Yeah.
loved one, so
Yeah, and the choices like, it's not an easy choice whether it's a human or, like, an animal or creature, whatever, it's not easy to decide for another being whether or not their life is worth $10,000.
yeah,
Um,
so hard.
yeah, as someone who's been asked this question more than once, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so and that kind of falls into radical compassion. Um, there's a term in dialectical behavioral therapy, so DBT. If
Mhm.
anyone's ever done it, it's called radical acceptance, and you're just supposed to like accept what's happened to you and move on. Because oftentimes what happens is you get stuck and you ruminate on this one thought and you want to understand why it happened or what was the point of it and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And it's really hard to get past that. And so in DBT, it's like you're not going to know why and you just have to accept it. It just happened and you just have to
Yeah.
accept it. And for me, I can accept it, but what I can't accept is like what I'm having a hard time is the guilt and the regret that I feel
Mhm.
about, like, how neglected I think she was in the last few years of her life, and
Oh.
so I want to, like, for all the caretakers and all the parents out there who might be in a similar situation, I, hope that we can all practice together radical compassion, like, a delusional amount of self-love and self-care and self-respect and forgiveness because there's so much when you become a caretaker or caregiver that a lot of balls get dropped and not everything you can't do everything, you can't be everything for everyone, so you just kind of have to forgive yourself every once in a while for not being able to catch everything that you're juggling and not do everything all the time and things like this happen and it sucks that it happened. I wish I could have done things differently. I wish I was more aware. Um, but as one of my friends said, it's information and it's definitely something to take forward in how I care for my other dog that's still
Mm.
alive. Um, it doesn't make it hurt less, but
No.
it's
I like
what I'm
that
holding on
framing.
to.
Yeah, that is information is
Yeah.
really helpful, actually.
Yeah. So, for all of us out there who might be experiencing this, I'm there with you. I'm here with you. I'm healing with you, grieving with you.
Mhm.
And you're doing great. However long it is that you take to grieve, because this is probably gonna take me a while. Me and grief are not friends. Um, so if it takes you years even, then that's fine and you're doing great. You're being a great mommy, a great daddy, a great everything. And sometimes we can't put out every single fire when we're also trying to navigate and manage three different houses and homes. It's not easy. So lean into your loved ones and just be really nice and forgiving to yourself. I'm going to try and do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, this was a sad one.
No, don't apologize, it's real, so
Yeah. Anyways, grief sucks.
yeah. Yeah.
um, but yeah, I think that's all we've got. Do you have anything else, Robin?
Um, Gosh, not at the moment, but there is actually something I might delve more into it in a future episode. But while we're on this kind of grief topic, something really moved me recently was the uh, eulogy that Carolyn Bissett's mom said about her and her sister after the plane
Mhm.
crash at the funeral.
Mm.
And if anybody wants to look it up, I highly recommend. It's so well spoken, and there's so many inspiring things that you can draw out of it and even bring into your own experience as a person that's alive.
Yeah.
And like I said, I might want to dip back into that topic, but for now, while we're on this, I just had to throw that in there because I just read it and it was pretty spectacular. So,
Ew. I'm gonna go read it then. Send me
yeah,
the link.
I
Yeah.
will, of course.
Alrighty. Well, all right. Well, again, I know it was a sad one, but if you enjoyed hearing us and
Yeah.
hanging out with us today, subscribe, anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Deezer, iHeart, where else? Amazon, all those
Um,
places.
Even like if you just have an app, just uh,
Mhm.
do a search for Petty and Unbothered and we'll pop right up. So it's not
Yeah.
even, you don't even have to have a service. We're really accessible. I found
Mhm.
that out on my podcast addict app. um,
That's so hard to say. I'm
Mouthful.
like,
Blah.
I'm not even gonna try.
But yeah, so if you have just like a podcast app, uh, just look for us and you can find it. You don't even have to have a service. It's that easy. And please like,
Yeah. Yeah.
rate, subscribe, recommend us to your buddies.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll thank you for it.
Oh,
And
there's
again,
polls on Spotify.
oh, right.
Yeah.
Check
Yeah.
those
I
out.
keep the polls up for a month. So each episode has a poll and you can add your thoughts and let us know. Stuff like that, or just comment on Spotify, especially. I don't know if you can do that on Apple Podcasts or any other places,
I
but you
think you can.
can.
Yeah, you can. So give us 5 stars.
Yeah. All right. Well, do all those things. Don't miss the next episode. And until next time. Oh, I guess we can't say this if we're trying to be friendly.
Oh, no.
I
Oh,
don't care.
no.
Fuck it.
Stay petty.
Bye.
Bye.